Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so I give you a little walkthrough. I know you don't hear the music, which is okay, right? Um, maybe I'll plug in some of the things that I hear at some point in this video. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about a little bit about the structure and the sound and where I got the music and the video from. Okay, so here, you guys could see that it's Chunky and the universe. I don't know if you guys could see the shot here, but I have a shot of like, I guess a galaxy. And I had done this by putting stuff on Midjourney. Let me see if I could find you the link. Yeah, apparently I couldn't record my own computer audio, whatever. So in Midjourney, once you go to Midjourney, right? You go to Midjourney and you're able to check some of the stuff that, I guess you've kind of done. So let me show you. So yeah, okay, I had done here Gato Chonky, right? There's that. And I had done a few other ones like don't mind all the weird ones, galaxies and stuff. And I had to try to see if I could pick which one was the best that could fit in that scenario. You'll see some weird galaxy ones. Yeah. Oh, there's that cat I hate. I hate him so much. I don't know why. But okay, well we'll go back to that cat and why I hate him so much. He just looks so hateable. Look at that. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Wow, that looks cool. Why didn't I use? Oh, because I had that random ugly cat there. Okay. All right, so there's some cool ones here that I didn't end up using, but whatever. Whatever. Point is, I got the image through Midjourney and then I put it through Runway ML. Here, I was able to get some images, but a lot of them were really, really, really bad. Let me see what I got here. I think I showed some earlier. Well, whatever. Let me see. No, I don't want. That's not what I wanted to do. Fudge. Yeah. Video tools. No, oh, man. Where am I going? It's like I don't know where I'm going anymore. Private. Oh, here we go. Okay, I got all these weird things, which I think look pretty cool. Yeah. You're looking at my weird collection of stuff. Maybe not. Maybe I'll edit this out. And I guess a sneak peek into the future sessions. All right, so you can kind of see what's going on here. Right. Well, I got some weird galaxy ones you're going to see here if you saw the video. Okay, no, that's the wrong one. Jeez, I don't know where I'm clicking at anymore because I have the camera right here and it's in the way. I know. Why did I think of this? I don't know. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is ADD in full effect. Okay, here. So at some point in this song, right around here, I had to add a weird bzzz effect to do that just to show like a transition to make it look kind of like fun, I think. And here, so this shot, like I don't like the way this came out, but I had to tell the story somehow in the song as long as the product got done to find whatever means possible. So through Gemini the app, maybe I'll put a link here somewhere. On my phone, I put some galaxy background, or no, it was a blue nebula, and I had already cut out this cat spaceship sticker, and I guess I put it on that. And then I put it through Midjourney, see if it could do something with it where it seemed like the background was changing while depending on where it was. And it kind of did this. And I had to find a way to kind of like somehow include it in here. So this project was very much do it as it goes. I had no idea what I was going to do. All I know is that I wanted Chunky in space, and he's in space. Okay. So here we are. So here's Chunky looking at that holographic guitar player being weird, right? Yeah, Chunky. Okay, so here I was like, okay, so I wanted to just look at that at his jamming, kind of like a music video, having a performance, and then he's like, okay, you know what? Just the vibe. I'm gonna go and explore. So that's kind of like the I guess what I was going through in my mind. Okay, I have the soundtrack to me exploring and doing what I gotta do. Boom. Right. So here he is, kind of chilling, floating away into life. And this was supposed to be pants, floating pants. I typed floating pants and runway because I wanted to show Chunky getting undressed, taking his blue pants off. While he's doing that, the cat's performing, and he's floating away naked. But it's a cat, so you don't feel weird. Now, if it's a flying human, that's weird, right? Yeah, I would have put that here. That's just weird. I don't want to see that. Anyway, so it's a cute cat, right? Cats are naked by nature, hopefully, I think. Okay, so cute floating cat. Let me see. I know I had some weird ones that I got off of Runway, so I probably got like the best 3, something like that. Let me see if I find one of the ugly ones here, or mutated ones. So yeah, him and this one in real life came out kind of weird. So let me see if I could do it. It doesn't look too weird, but I was like, okay, how can I keep this going for a while? So I had to kind of like extend it and kind of have him go with the flow of like the music, which is kind of hard to time because AI does what it wants. And then obviously it's not taking into account what, your music is like, the tempo, the vibe. So I try to make it somewhat match with the music. I don't know how perfect it is. Some people may like it. Some people may not. Some people enjoyed it. So that's good. I got some good feedback, hopefully. So there's that. The pants, the floating Chunky. And then I was like, okay, now I want people to know that he's jamming out. So, by doing that, you have, ¿cómo se llama? You have like a whole speaker system, and I added some earthquake effect. I don't know if you see it here. So it could give the impression that, man, it's vibing, it's strong, right? So, okay, whatever. Here we are again. I typed in some cats getting a spacesuit, and I tried to match it. Not everything in this video, if you notice, matches, but I think it does a point at telling some kind of story. Whatever. Okay. So back to here. Okay. And this shot was supposed to be a lot bigger. I had, let me see if I have it here. What weird things I got from this shot. No. Let me see. I apologize for my weird neighbors. They're very loud. Let me see if I have El Gato Chonky. No, it's not that one. I make myself laugh. Let me see. Yeah, I got a bunch of weird shots and some that really expanded on that too. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is where I'm back at Chrome at Midjourney, and you really get to see that But the thing is that I thought about using this shot, and it looked pretty cool at first. And I'm like, but he's not chunky enough. And I was like, should I go back and change it? I'm like, And then the spacesuit looks weird, and so I had to re-edit that. And I'm like, man, do I need to learn some what do you call these skills? Photoshop and animation skills. I think I would have to if I really want this to be perfect, right? Because now this kind of like opens up the door for me to be like, okay, I want to be able to add more things to my own liking, to be able to tell the story better. But even with the limitations, I think it was pretty decent, pretty good, right? It wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. So the cat's there. You have, I try to move it, make it even more, like to show more of the spaceship. And I got variations, it was pretty cool, but then I'm like, I don't want to show it too much. Whatever. Okay, back to this. Back to story. Where's the story? Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I was like, okay, a cat going down the space chute. I don't know if that's called, but I was remembering the movie Aliens, right? I don't know if you remember when Ripley was like floating down or going down the tube at some point with that weird machine thing. So I wanted something like that where, it was like a tunnel that made him kind of like get out of the spaceship. And I wanted to be seen where it was like, okay, it's ready to detach and go explore and have like a spacesuit. So now, if you really want to be a huge stickler about the consistency, obviously there's not much consistency, because here you could see it's like brown. And I'm like, to go back, re-edit this, and then do that, I'm like, forget it. I just want to get this hung out there. I could just simply say that, oh, well, he has his spacesuit morphs to the color of space. Bro, this isn't even real. It's a freaking cat video. It's not a cat video, a fictional cat in space driving a spaceship. I mean, that's already ridiculous enough, but whatever. Here we go. Okay, so back again to another shot of the spaceship with a weird nebula background. All right. And I got this other weird shot of like the cat, like just the whole thing. It's like warping. But if you look at it carefully, like, I mean, I try to slow it down, because slowing down makes all the difference in these videos. If you go speed it up or slow it down, when it generates 5 seconds of video, you could like make it bigger, make it smaller by slowing it down, or taking advantage of going fast, and that way people don't really see the details unless people want to be sticklers and just kind of like pause, right? So watch. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but look, weird stuff going on. It looks like it's being warped, like what's it called? Like Alice in Wonderland or something on drugs. Was that? I think they weren't drugs. Right. Okay. And then this was another video that I got, and I was like, okay, maybe I could do something with this. And I did that. I added an effect to it to just kind of like make it go back. And this idea I kind of got, there was rap videos back in, I guess, the 90s, early 2000s, where they had like a weird shots of like camera zooming in and then zooms back out. It's like, whatever. But that's the idea. Here, obviously, it still looks like Chonky, right? Like this Chonky. This bothers me, but since I don't take this one too seriously, like ears are sticking out of the helmet to begin with. I couldn't fix this shot no matter how hard I tried it with AI. I couldn't fix it, and I was like, I'll just keep it like this, because it's almost aimed for like a kid adult audience, or something to just vibe with it, just like I could relax to this Chonky cat, just kind of funny, right? Or kind of cute, I guess, right? But that was the idea here. Don't try to follow too much logic, because it's, I'm not taking it too seriously. So, and the reason I got into this in the first place was because I couldn't do the story that I wanted, which were several stories taking place in a zombie type of world. I know. Okay, we have that. Okay, here we go. So, and I was like, okay, I got a weird shot of this one, right? I don't know if you could see what I'm doing here. This shot is just him. But when I originally got it from Midjourney, it was very, his whole body was showing, and it was, again, inconsistent with anything I was doing. So let me see if I find it. Let me see if I could find you that weird shot and see why I cropped it out and did what I did to it. That's the thing with Midjourney, is that, or these videos, is that I have to crop it out. So it takes away a lot of the, I guess, the pixelation. Oh man, I'm getting thirsty. The pixels, how clear it looks. And since it's kids, aimed for like a younger audience, it's not like, I should take it that seriously. And especially since there's a lot of variety of animation here. I couldn't get something consistent if I wanted something hyper realistic, and I'm like, damn. Wait, did I find it? I hate this cat. I'll explain later why. I hate him so much, which is why if you see the video, I give him an ugly voice. Wow. Long search. Dude, where's that? Oh, okay, yeah, I was trying to look for Chonky in space. Well, yes, space, traveling. Was it this one? Oh, so this is another one of those videos, an example of like how useless this video was. See, and it looks cool at first, but then it starts morphing into a vacuum cleaner. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's kind of funny. But it's useless for me for what I was trying to do. These shots were pretty random. Um, and I liked the way they looked because I was looking for something to show the vastness and how huge space was. And I thought it came out pretty cool. So cool that I wanted to slow it down and create some kind of scenery. Originally, I wish I could have shown Chunky like flying, you know, but like like very small. I couldn't get him. I couldn't get the computer or AI to generate a small Chunky and just kind of float throughout the whole, like, hi, I'm Chunky. I'm floating through space. Wee slowly, but I couldn't do that. So, yeah, this is where I now want to get more into animation, so I could be able to do. So I know how to draw. I could do these things. I know how I'm getting into AI, but now I need to find a way to bridge these things, right? Which is where things get a little bit interesting. That's where I guess I'm learning a new skill very soon, hopefully. But that's what I'm determined to do. Let me see if I find a weird one. This is a weird one. I was like, okay, could I use something weird with this? I'll show you what's going on here. I don't know. It's like a, hi, I am Cat's God from the universe of bleh. But even until then, it looks weird. And I don't know how I could use that. I'm like Thor's dad as a cat. Or Thor's dad's cat. Yeah. What useless. Yeah. Okay, so these are all the weird shots. Okay, let me see if I could find I'm trying to find this one. Okay, big cat, white spacesuit, blah, 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 blah. Where are you? Wait, is it this one? But you could tell on the bottom he has fur, so I couldn't use the whole body. So I was like, okay. Nope. Or maybe I don't have it here. Okay, so here, this is a weird one, right? This is the original spaceship I had. And you're going to be like glad that I didn't go through it. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Because it just looks weird. Where's that spaceship? Here, right? Now compare this cat. Looks kind of cool, more interesting, low-key Matrix to like weird spaceship. What the hell is going on here? And I was trying. This is where I used a staker and put it into another picture to try to see if I could animate it. And it just, I tried several ways. Right, he's floating down. It would have been cool, but the spaceship was too boring. And then and then a random ass cat comes out, and it's useless. Look at that. Like I don't even know what's going on there. It's like what's a cat doing? What is this? Is a cat like? Like meow, I'm gonna shoot my fire from my butt and the spaceship is gonna shoot whatever it is at you too, and that's not what I asked for, but okay. Anyway, I'm sorry for deviating a little bit. Back to here. Now, was it here? Okay, yeah, I was gonna talk to you about this. Sorry. I'm just so excited. This is another weird one, but I'll talk about that. Another weird one. Oh, here we go. See, this shot totally useless. Like this shot looks like a different type of cat, like Earthworm Jim, but as like instead of a worm, it's a cat in a weird robotic spacesuit. Maybe gives him an idea for something else. I don't know, but it didn't work for me because it's just awkward. So what I did is I cropped it from the neck down, used the top part, and I think it gave me better results. And I thought of there was this music video. I don't know, I don't know if it was a Bjork music video, but I was trying to find a way that I could show like this and have like the lights just passing through him, you know, and then kind of like just show you a glimpse of like the weird nebula star, which is where I'm going to. Oh, so that's that. And then here, since I was already in that weird mindset, I thought of there's a Bjork video and I thought of Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? And I tried to make this cat here, right here, this cat, like light up as soon as the light was showing up, right? It was when the light would come out, like lights would be showing up on him. So it's really this same. Was it this one? Yeah. So, and then I would just kind of like darken. What did I do? I added some Luma layer, I guess, some Luma Keyer. And that was the only way that I was kind of able to accomplish that. So see, there's light there, so I added light to the cat. And it's weird because I had to go through, like, if you see it, I was able to go through like different shots, right? Light, dark. I had to darken it up on this one. On this one, keep it dark with some light. Here, I had to lighten it up since it was already, the light was starting to show. And then here, a little bit more light. I finally switched because I was just like, I didn't want to bore anybody there. So then, let me see what else. Oh yeah, here. I was like, what can I do? So I was like, okay, maybe I'll cut it to a scene where the cat just coming jamming out. Since after all, this is a soundtrack to him exploring, having fun in space. Or maybe just going on a special place if you haven't seen the video yet. Okay, well, whatever. Here we go. This is... I generated this image in Gemini. And I don't know if I put rocket or comet in an asteroid field, right? And then I asked Runway to animate it. And then here, and then I did another asteroid field. And then I put Chonky. I had cut out this picture from I don't know where, one of the pictures that I made, and Google or Gemini, when you cut it out, it's one of the soft programs that I have for my phone. You're able to cut them out and make them into a sticker. So I made Chonky, flying like that, into a sticker. And I kind of like, let me see. I guess this is like old school animation, right? Where people would kind of have these small layers, small, big, bigger. So here, I had done 3 different, I guess, pages of the same thing, but with Chonky being far, like I guess middle, and then bigger. So I processed it through Runway, and I did this. But now it looks like he has something on his foot. And I was like, I'm not going to go back and edit it. But so the way I could pull it off is be like, oh, he's on a surface that helps him balance himself out when he goes back down. So you see him arriving somewhere and coming down into this weird asteroid that has like a bar. I don't want fancy restaurant with all the fancies, that are just there, And I'm like, okay, what do I do here? So I kind of had him. I was like, what do I do here? It looks cool. It looks sick. I was like, I love the way AI generated this, and that I wanted to show more, so I kept expanding it. And I wanted to show him arriving, like with his rocket. I don't know if I got that effect, but whatever. So yeah, there's that. And here we are at the cool space. I don't want to call it bar. Space fancy restaurant club, space club, club space. If you're from Miami, you know. I don't know. So we have that, and then and inside, I tried to create a scenery with a bunch of fancy cats eating. I did this in a different app. I did not use Midjourney because I kept getting weird results and inconsistent results, and I guess at that time I was running out of Midjourney. What's it called? Midjourney cool pictures. So I was like, okay, I have certain limitations. So, and I still have some from Google because I pay for the Google one. So then here we, and I was like, okay, let me see if I get anime cats. With anime cats, for whatever reason, I think AI still has a thing where it's trying to develop like the more realistic something looks, the harder it is to generate better movements. So I was like, okay, let me find something cartoony. Maybe if it's from far, it could look somewhat real. But I think I was somewhat able to pull it off if you don't think about it too much. But, or maybe you do think about it a lot and it bothers you in your sleep. Okay, well, here. Okay. So here's another scene. I thought these were so cool. Um, and let me see. Okay, so and I was like, okay, and now I want something to kind of like take away this weird seriousness to this. Well, unless I don't know, but I feel like it's too serious or too boring. So I'm like, okay, let me lighten up the mood and eat something else. So then I want to get a like a chunkier type of cat, or like a not a chunkier, but like a happy type of cat, just kind of like, I guess, bartending. Uh, so I'm space drink. I don't know. And I got this weird video or prompt. I had a bunch of weird ones. And I'm like, first of all, nobody holds their wine like this unless you're a savage and somehow your fingers go through the glass, right? But, man, I was like, okay. And then in my head, I'm like, but it's outer space. Does it work? Yeah, it does work. No, I don't know. But whatever. I was like, okay, I liked it so much because the generation made this cat super happy to a point that it made me happy. I was like, okay, fuck, this cat's so happy. Just look at him. He's so happy. Oh, and here there's people drinking. Somehow somebody's drink is stuck to their whiskers. Look at that. Then now the Chunky comes in after his amazing flight. I don't know what happened to his fingers, but I'll just be like, oh, it's just part of the costume. Yeah, I was like, okay, I just want him to look like more, I don't know, like I wanted him to look out of place on purpose. So he comes in, mud, space mud or asteroid mud. And the bartender's like, hey, what's up, Chunk? And Chunky's like, I'm like, I think I posted well, the prompt was have Chunky, have the cat with, the describe thing, this cat, give a character reference, and have it ask signal a bartender for a drink. So it gave me this weird prompt, I guess, and then and I think I posted on to get this one. This picture was have bartender acknowledge and give one drink, like, so it kind of did it. It did a weird animation here. I could, I'm thinking like if I had maybe some good Photoshop skills or something, I could have probably fixed that. But whatever. I just say it's a bartender has a rugged look, but he's happy. Whatever. Obviously, difference in animation. But he's like one. And then voila, catnip. He's like one catnip coming right up, right? And I didn't want to say catnip. I wanted to have a special. I mean, AI did it weird, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just a brand. Cat with a double T. Catnip. So, okay. And I was like, okay. And so I prompted for a bag to fall with like having green stuff, green catnip, whatever, flying out, just to make it look more delicious or something. I don't know. I'm not a cat. Just a cat there, and Chunky's like, yeah, looking at it. So I giggled at this one because, again, when I was prompting for bartender cat, just excited or with I forgot what I put. I got this weird prompt, and I'm trying to see maybe it's around here, but that happy cat. I was like, what can I use this for? And I saved it there, and I was like, maybe I could use it at some point, right? There's a lot of weird ones. Let me see. Oh, here's another one I did not use. See, here's where those, I think those are. Oh, here I put, because I had put cat nods his head. He's like, right? But it gave me other weird stuff, so he just, instead of giving me a nod, he just like, right, pulling up his cup, whatever. And here, I forgot what I put was happily. I forgot. This the cat was happily was, I forgot, bartending or something like that. And then what did he do here? So I was like, what can I do with this weird shot? I'm like, whatever. And I saved it because I was like, maybe they'll come into use for something, right? This is where those weird shots like have I keep them there, and I hope that at some point I can make some use out of them by either cropping it or just showing part of it. But whatever, I saved it, so just so you guys know, because it's gonna come into effect in the future. And here, like if you see Chunky here, he's happy with his bag. Oh wait. Let's talk about this cat. This cat up here. This cat, I was like, man, what can I do with this cat? With a cup. No bartender does that, but I guess that's where the comedy is, right? Because it's weird. So let's see. Clip, 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 clip. I was like, okay, well, whatever. The cat's happy. He's grabbing the cups like this, right? Because I guess AI doesn't know how to tell a cat, because I guess cats have small fingers, so it was like small paws, and they can't grab cups. So I guess it's like, well, we'll just do it like this, because that's AI, and that's AI logic. Anyway, so and then I wanted to do Chunky. I had several takes of Chunky grabbing a bag, like, yeah. So in order for people not to notice, like the bag hanging onto his chest, I just wanted him to grab it, like, yeah, just with excitement. And I did it fast, so that way people wouldn't notice. And it kind of worked. Looks like a kid that just got his trick or treat, right? And up here, tap, 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 tap. The little tap tap. I was like, maybe it's kind of cute if I add little glass sounds to it, which I did. And it works. And then I think I put something about the cat being excited that he got a bag of green with green powder around him, and he's smiling and he's excited. So here. Okay, so cat. Okay, so the cat here, he's excited. I had a bunch of weird prompts. And I was like, okay, what can I do with this cat? He's so excited. He's if you see him here. And obviously there's a lot of weird errors, a lot of weird things that don't come out perfect. His face came out great, and he's holding the green stuff. It's like, yeah, the power is mine, but it's just really catnip, right? And so, since catnip, I guess if you've ever seen a cat use catnip, they're like, right? They get crazy and they rub themselves all over it. And I was like, how can I be weird with that? Like, I'm like, how do I end this, right? So maybe it was a cheap cop out. I don't know. But I got catnip. He got excited. There's green stuff going around him, which is supposed to be the catnip, or space catnip. I don't even know how catnip looks like. I know it's green. Okay, well, whatever. And so I have other cats like Fancy's like, oh, he has the catnip and it looks really good, and I want it, right? So if you see the video, it's like, wait, if you see this, it's like, I was like, how can I make this like look like cats really want it, like, right? So I have some small purring sound effects, and then I have like weird voices, like, I don't know if it's German or not. He's like, I want that so bad, right? And I did that, and I was like, okay, it's weird. I like it. It reminds you of Kung Pao. That's my kind of humor. And so we did that. And I was like, okay, how can I have other cats just looking at him kind of like with envy, like, I want that, right? How would that weird cat singing. Give me the catnip, please. I have a bunch of voices. Maybe I'll go for him. So I so this video, I want to put I think the prompt was cats in fancy suits jumping towards a screen, but instead the way this looked in reality was more like cats doing a musical number, which I was like, no, that's not what I want. I don't want them to do a fancy musical number. I want them to look like they're aggressively jumping at the screen because that's what they want, like ravenous, like right, whatever. Okay. And I was like, okay, I like the way this one looks, but so at first I was like, okay, he looks cool. He looks like he wants it. And this is where I go. I'm like, man, but something about this cat that I hate. I don't know what it is. Okay, it was this one, but because this one I thought looked cool, but look at his face. His face just looks dumb. It's like if you had somebody just coming at you, like, I'm like, I hate this guy the way he looks like. So I decided to give him a stupid voice, like just because I hate him. Look at it. Look at his face, like, and then that and his face gets even weirder, which is probably the reason. Let me find it for you, just so you know what I'm talking about. No, that one's cool. Look, it's because this whole thing. Look, so this is one of those examples that I mean by I had to crop out certain sections. So if you see, okay, up to there, it looks okay. And then once you go here, his legs don't make sense. His anatomy is like weird. So then I had to crop it so that way it just looked like his face. And the background's just moving. Ugh. His face just like I'm going to eat you, but like, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully in a weird way. So ugly. But that's kind of like, I guess, because it just has a punchable face. And now I'm doing that same face. So don't punch your computers. All right. Well, whatever. So I was like, okay, how can I look like Chunky's trying to find him? Like, okay. That's supposed to be that cat flying. And that weird shot, I put flying cat or cat flying towards the camera. So, I was like, okay, if I do this too much, it just looks weird if I kept it by itself. So I had to crop it, keep certain angles again. And it works for this type of video just because it's like comedic and it's kids. And I guess nobody really expects high detail perfection. So, I guess that's why I was able to use it here and play around with AI in this way, which is kind of like part of the how Chunky started, the whole Chunky thing that I'm doing now. So there's that. Oh, right. Back to this. And if you see if you hear it here, wow. If you hear it, which I don't think the video's recording it, but he's like, I try to put a bunch of different voices, and I'll show you the bottom, like how many. I put bad German. He's like, yeah. But with a weird, and Germans normally have like a strong voice, but I just wanted to give him a weird voice. Yeah. Whatever. Look at, he has a hateable face. Look at him. Just look at him. Yeah. Okay. And here I had the challenge of like, okay, how can I have this big cat jumping on top of Chunky and trying to make it look, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't find it. I don't know if I did the generation, but I just had to close it. So I was like, okay. And just okay, so here, this is where I learned, I guess, a new skill for me, because I hadn't really done. It looks weird when you slow it down. You're like, oh, okay, that's what happened. That's what you did. But, so I had to learn how to make. I added the effect to like transition. Let me see. It was like one of these transitions. I don't remember which one it was. It was the one that crosses over. Maybe it was a crossover. I don't know. So I was like, okay. And then what I did here is what's it called, bro? Why can't I think? Oh, I had to mask it. There you go. I had to draw a mask on it. And Wow. Okay. And so what makes all the difference in a situation like this? I did it like that, and then I try to zoom in on him to make it bigger, and then added these sound effects, which makes all the difference, right? So, boom. And then I was like, okay, well, the song kind of ended now. What do I do? And I was thinking about some of my favorite music videos, and they have a weird semi story to it that doesn't, but you know. So I was like, okay. So instead of putting the song in, because I was already tired of hearing it, I put the song in reverse. So in case those that do not know, so I put part of the song in reverse, and now the catnip's everywhere. The song is in reverse, and it kind of shows like the post disaster what happened, and everybody now has a little bit of catnip, and everybody's chilling, relaxed, like these cats and meow. And this one cat that I hate, he's just like, oh, passed out. He's like, oh, I got some of that. Yeah, so good. Camera zooms in. Chunky. I think I put fat cat with brown spots and white cat with brown spots and blue spacesuit or something like that with green powder around him, laying down on a golden restaurant or golden bar with plates and dishes and stuff around him. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on around. And I was like, okay, well, I was going to end here originally. And then I was like, okay, let me add this random thing. So I added, I was like, oh, I made use of that weird cute cat that I guess was kind of cute. Like, like, it's like, yeah, I'm happy. Where is he? Oh, well, yeah. Wasn't that one? I mean, it was the same cat, but, I don't know if you can hear my neighbors. They talk too loud. Whatever. Back to this. Well, and I was like, okay, what do I do with this? Because he's just like, and I'm like, it's totally useless. But then I was like, I could make it weird. You had a weird, funny ending, and with him just looking at the camera, and I'm like, okay, clearly it's not a serious video, especially from the beginning. It's a cat video in space, and he's moving the cup around, smiling, and I was like, okay, let me zoom into his face as he does that, so it's not so weird. And oh yeah, and if you guys hear it, there's like a purr, and there's an audience applause. And it's the only. I was like, okay, I guess make it funny, weird, and maybe it goes with it, which kind of did. It's random, but it's cool. I think it's cool. Whatever. I like it. I was like, okay, how do I end this random thing? And I'm like, okay, just give it stupid credits and yeah. And if you hear it. And if you hear the music there, and then I want that so bad right now, I'm like, I had to put that guy's voice in this because it was funny, and especially that black void and just that void. Oh. There was a section where he goes, oh, and I'm like, I had to add that there. Okay, bye, I guess. Fiend. I just had to add his voice again. All right. So that should be the ending of the El Chonky video making of. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. And maybe I'll do the audio one soon. All right. Ciao.